Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on Newstalk ZB.
Today there I stumbled upon an article about Lynn Slater. In fact, it was by Lynn Slater. The headline was, "I'm 70 years old. Why shouldn't my clothes convey my sexuality and sense of style?" Now, Lynn Slater is, if you don't know, is a former model, influencer, writer, former professor. She is indeed a very, very, very stylish woman. And the question she asks about clothes is a fair one, I thought. Age is still an issue in this society, isn't it? And we found that out this week with Peter Boser, the chief ombudsman, who, as it turns out, is 2 years older than Lynn, and because of that, he's now got to quit his job. It's also the talking point in American politics, of course, because the two contenders for the most powerful job on earth are both old, which I assume leads you to ask, as it did me, how come you can be the president of America but not chief ombudsman of New Zealand? How come Lynn can ask questions about her sexuality and style, but poor old Peter's too old to even turn up to the office? We went through this period, you remember, a decade or so back. Remember when the Hollywood actresses started complaining about having no work because of age? That's all reversed now, or at least partially it's reversed, which is good. But remarkably, we don't seem to know whether age is actually an issue or not. And the problem is we've made it a problem because of a number, not because of incompetence, which should be the real measure, I would have thought. Surely your ability to do whatever it is you want to do is the criteria, not the chronology. We spend our time espousing the facts like, we all wander around these days going, 60 is the new 40. And yet it doesn't play out in terms of old-fashioned laws. Now, see, the Ombudsman law is from 1975. Now, in 1975, I was 10 years old. There was no internet, no cell phones, and 65 to me seemed old because when I was 10, my mum was a bit over 30 and my grandparents were in their late 50s, possibly early 60s, and that did seem to me at the age of 10, that seemed old. Now, I'm now in my late 50s, and because society, of course, has changed so dramatically, I'm nowhere near being a grandparent. I doubt I'll be a grandparent within a decade, and I don't feel old either. And if there was an age limit in time, in the time of my job, as opposed to the measure they currently use, which is basically, do you have a decent audience and do we make some money off it, I'd be pretty pissed off. I'd suppose Peter Boser went into it with his eyes open. I mean, he knew the rules, but that doesn't make the rule right, and it doesn't make the attitude that drove the rule right. Talent, skill, brains, determination, acumen, experience. These are the measures of value. That's why they say age is but a number. Look up Lynn Slater. Go tell her she's too old.
The Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on Newstalk ZB.